objective today is to show a simple process on how to take out glass and reinstall glass. The process involves simple things like laying the door down flat on a couple sawhorses so it's secure. And the first step you want to do is glass is stopped in only on one side. So the first step is to realize the side that's stopped in. To do that is to look for where the brad nails are, and once you figure that, lay the door down on that side. Next step is to take a putty knife, pull the stop out from the stile and rail. The objective is to go down and insert the putty knife right where the brad nail is and pop it out. And simply go around the rest of the frame to do the same. When you're changing glass, it's important to leave the same pieces you took out in the same spot so you reinstall them in the same spot that they were. A little trick of the trade is just to mark it on the back side. That way you'll, whether it's numbering or labeling, that way it's easy to remember where it goes. Once this is done, remove the nails that are sticking out. It's important to do that without scratching the glass. Usually a pair of vice grips works very well. One of the important things to always do anytime you're doing any work on any product is to always be safe. Simple things like safety goggles, depending on what the noise of the machines that you're working on, earplugs, and gloves as well. Once all the nails have been taken out, the next step is to remove the glass. Take a utility blade and cut where the silicone is holding the glass in place. Once it releases on one side, lift the glass up and remove. The glass will need to be cleaned, which means take the silicone, clean the glass, take the silicone off around the perimeter, as well as clean the silicone around the perimeter where the glass was stopped in. On our interior product, we don't silicone all the way around because it's not an insulating product. On our exterior product, we silicone all the way around the perimeter of the glass. So if this was an exterior product, there would be silicone all around the whole perimeter. When cleaning the silicone off the wood, a chisel is usually the easiest way to clean. That way you're basically scraping and cutting a little bit of the wood to remove the excess quickly. Once everything has been cleaned, the next step is to put silicone, the proper amount of silicone. As I said, on an exterior, it'd be all the way around. On an interior, we usually use a rule of thumb that if we cover roughly 40% of the surface area, that'll be plenty enough to hold the glass in place so it doesn't rattle. When installing silicone, we recommend a clear silicone, which works good whether the door is being painted or stained. The next step is to reinstall the glass. Once again, the same concept as it was taken out. Put it on one side, drop down, and then properly push where all the silicone is so the glass is properly set. Make sure there's no movement, it's held in place. Once that's done, the final step is to reinstall the stop. To reinstall the stop, do a dry fit. Start with your vertical pieces, then installing your horizontals. Since the stop is mitered, it probably doesn't matter. You just need to go both horizontal, then vertical, or both vertical, then horizontal. To properly put the stop back in, you might have to bend the stop to get it to fit because it's a tight fit. Next step is to tap the stop to make sure it's all on the same plane, so that where the miter joints are, they're consistent. The final step is to put the brads in. Objectively, you want to put the brads in about the same hole that you did the first time. That way you don't have double the amount of holes in the glass top. The last step after that is there will be some silicone squeeze out. Flip the door over because the silicone would have squeezed out on the opposite side. Take a sharp razor blade going around the edge of the wood and scrape the excess silicone. In some cases, you may want to let the silicone set. It becomes a little harder, so that way it's not as messy. Once that's done, that's the last step. This completes our glass installation.